Man, I'm not feeling good about my progress. Let's get into the video. I'll put yesterday's run and today's run right here. Super annoyed. That's the feeling that I have right now, in this area when the temperature on Lake Erie here gets above like 20, right? And the winds are less than 15 miles an hour. People are everywhere. Like, people are just out. And at first I was annoyed at the amount of people that were on my run and that I had to keep switching, like side to side, moving around, creating safe social distance, all that stuff. And I realized about midway through the run, like, what are you really annoyed with? And it's not the people out there. Everybody has a right to be out there. I was annoyed that I had to move, yes, but I wasn't annoyed at the people. So what am I really annoyed about? Well, let's get into that real quick here. For all of you who are new to this channel, thank you so much for being here. I'm grateful to have you along. If you don't know, I do a lot of personal development, educational content, and some endurance content as well. So thanks for being here. I've had some time to decompress after that run, relax a little bit. I am not annoyed at the people that were on the run. This is typical for most feelings that you have, whether you're in an educational setting, in life in general. Most typically, I find that with myself, it's about identifying what the feeling is and then asking yourself the tough questions about what's really going on here. And for me, if you look at those runs, the 5 and the 6, I just think I'm comparing my progress to last year at this time and not taking into account some variable changes. Still frustrated with my progress to this point. I thought I would feel a little bit better. I've been battling this injury that only plagues me when I get started. And for the most part, my runs are feeling much slower than I have ever felt. I don't feel good about my runs. I don't feel fast. I don't feel like I have control over my body. So what I did was I came back and did some teacher type stuff, right? Reflecting on all of that, grabbed a Sharpie. I grabbed a stack of Post-it notes. These are all typical teacher moves, you know that. And then I started to sketch things out. I wrote down everything that had my attention for training and understanding that a spring marathon is really only 6 months away. In order to complete these and feel good about the training process, I have to sort of find the joy in running again. There has to be some change. I've gotten sort of lax in some of these things, although I have been stretching, I've been feeling good about my progress on my knee. I've got to make significant changes to this format of running. So here's how this is going to go. I broke it into 5 categories that I think have to be a focus of mine and have to get some attention. The first area is diet and hydration. The second area is weekly volume. Third area is weekly run types. Fourth area is zone 2 heart rate training. And the fifth and final area is strength, flexibility, and recovery. So let's talk about a few things in those categories. I'll first start with diet and hydration. Flat out, it's got to change. I have to go a little bit more plant-based with some of this because I feel like heavy. I mean, I've been watching John's Conscious Life and his videos, and I have adapted and purchased some things that I think will help with that. And I just need to feel a little bit lighter, a little bit leaner. My weight right now is at 175. When I ran that marathon last spring, I was at 165. I don't feel good at that weight. I would feel better if I had more strength to it, but that needs to change. So the diet is going to change. Hydration. I flat out need to drink more water. But I do know that I need more water and mineral intake, period. When it comes to flexibility, strength, and recovery, I have not done any strength training for a number of years. I miss it. I think I stopped at like 37, but I think I'm going to get back into it. I don't know exactly what that looks like. Probably more of an increase in things like push-ups, core strength, some squats, and some of the dumbbell work because I have access to them here. Not sure 100% what that looks like. Flexibility. I have seriously got to dive into a little bit more flexibility. As I mentioned before, the one thing that I think plagues me is this idea that I can put on my shoes, go out and run, and fine, whatever. I need a little bit more attention and focus in the area of flexibility. I need a routine for stretching. I need a routine for active recovery. Zone 2 heart rate training. Here's what I believe. The more efficient I can become aerobically, the better I will be able to tackle the distances that I want to. Again, I am not here to shatter any records. I am merely trying to cover the distance and feel good about the process and the experience of the learning that comes with all of this. Zone 2 training does make me feel like I'm not taxed. Feel like I'm really revving up that aerobic engine a little bit and really making sure that I become efficient. So right now, a lot of these runs, especially the ones that you saw recently, are in that like 139, 140 range heart rate. And I'm clipping like 930 average mile. So I would like to get that down to like a 920, 915 at the same heart rate. That's a big goal of mine. So zone 2 heart rate training is going to be a big focus from December all the way to the end of January. Weekly volume. Weekly volume flat out just has to increase. I will write some goals around that and think about how that will play throughout this training block. My weekly volume right now feels like around 20-ish miles per week. Sometimes it's lower, sometimes it dips, sometimes it increases, but really just hanging around that 18 to 24 range. So that has to change a little bit. Volume has to increase slightly. If I can clip 4 to 5 runs a week, I think if that happens, then obviously my weekly volume should increase with that. All right, moving on to the last category of focus is weekly run type. What I'm talking about when it comes to weekly run types for me is the weekly run types of the heart rate training, the nights when I maybe can't get out for longer stretches of time. I do love that 5-mile distance. 45 minutes worth of time is like super, like it's my favorite type of distance. I think I have to have 3 smaller runs per week. So anything from 3 to 5 miles. And then I think, so this is what I mean by types. So this idea of like smaller run distance, 3 to 5 miles in that zone 2 heart rate, 1 intermediate run. So anything around 6 to like 8, 9 would be ideal. 8, 9, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, somewhere around there for me as an intermediate run. And then longer run each week. So 1 longer run per week. If I can go 9 or beyond, I don't think it has to exceed anything like 12 or 13. I think it's got to stay in that sort of 9 to 12 range for me as a longer run per week now. So I was not annoyed on this run. I was more annoyed at my progress, and I came back, brainstormed this little list here, and will write some goals. Having said that, if you like what you hear, or you have some tips or suggestion or things that you can add to this, I always appreciate the comments and the dialogue. I read them all and I think about them. So feel free to add, do you think this is a good list? What would you add to this? What would you take away? You probably wouldn't take away anything, would you? But I appreciate you being here. Any tips, suggestions, I'm always grateful. So thanks again, and take care.